All right, here we go again. Producer Dale from the top. All right, welcome back to the Attack the Rack YouTube channel. Today is Tuesday, August the 27th, 2024. This is the Attack the Rack daily lineup show with myself, Big Mo, and Trent Windemaller. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we think producer Dale has us back on track. Guys, every family party or special event needs something special. Bubba's Bounce House Rentals LLC can do that for you. They provide inflatable bounce houses and water slides on top of great service in the West Michigan Lakeshore area. Call Bounce Master Sam at 616-485-0257 today and mention Attack the Rack and get $25 off your next rental. You can find Bubba's Bounce House Rentals LLC on Facebook. Bubba's Bounce House Rentals. All we rent is fun. Fellas, college football, it's back. Week 0 in the books. We did have one ranked team, number 10, Florida State Seminoles play. Did you guys check out any college football this weekend?
I sure did.
We tuned in. Florida State, Georgia Tech. Here we go.
Yeah, that was a good one.
What a great game. I don't know what the line was on that, but certainly
10.5.
10.5. Florida State was a 10.5 point favorite. Wow.
Yeah. Florida and Georgia Tech had covered like 7 of the last spreads against Florida State.
Oh, wow.
They looked impressive. I mean, they were moving the ball, but yeah. I don't know, the stadium looked pretty sweet too. They said that the wind, since the seating didn't go as far back on the one side, the wind affected the kicks. So that guy that was just draining the field goals, he was with the wind a little bit, so it was kind of helping those field goals. But
okay,
they said he was the best in the country for a reason. So I guess he what do you have, a 52 and a 59 yarder?
Yeah, that's unreal.
Pretty good for a college kid.
Yeah. For sure, including pressure on game winner there.
For sure.
So I mean, I guess, I don't know, according to the rankings, obviously, and according to the spread, it was quite an upset, but
yeah,
I think Florida State and their fans were hoping to get more out of the new quarterback, DJ Ugolagle.
Yeah.
Who, oh, by the way, is on his 3rd school now.
Yeah. What was it? Clemson?
Yeah, Oregon
State.
Yeah, Oregon State, yeah.
And then now Florida State.
Yeah.
And it seems to be the same results no matter where he's at.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think Florida State fans had big hopes for him. And again, it's just one game, but he only threw for 193 yards, no touchdowns.
Yeah, he missed every deep ball. He didn't hit a single deep ball the whole game. So it's hard to win if you're just check downs.
Right.
I'll give a little credit to Georgia Tech's defense.
For sure.
And that running game.
Whew. Yeah. Running game was sweet.
A little old school football.
Yeah.
And then I love the whole Kurt Herbstreit aspect of the whole thing too. So last year, during the, before the playoffs came out, he was very much against Florida State getting in the playoffs, and obviously they didn't. So Florida State fans were not happy with him. Did you see his tweet after the game?
No, what he said.
Still plenty of opportunity.
That's what he said.
Oh, totally trolling the Florida State fan base with something like, tough loss, but with the playoffs now expanded to 12, you still got a chance or something like that.
Yeah, they were like laying out the whole line for them to still be able to get in. It's like, ugh.
A lot of time to figure all that out, but what a great opening weekend.
Yeah, no, for sure. And here's the thing too, with it's obviously it's not just DJ Ugalele who's transferred. I mean, there's transfers all over the field. Constantly, it was like the announcer was saying, tackle by so and so, the transfer from catch by here's transfer from. Oh, it's so annoying. It's just ugh.
Yeah, you're gonna get that a lot.
Yeah. And I hate to say, I think I probably obviously when you love a school, you get to know all their players. It's like
Right.
our conversation with Sammy Go Blue.
Yeah.
The recruits. You have this more little in depth of maybe what's going on. I think for the casual fan, that's become tougher because you maybe don't know all the intricacies.
Right.
But I do think as as the opportunity, I think it is an opportunity for these guys like the Florida State quarterback. Maybe he wasn't getting maybe that wasn't the right situation. Now he's on his third situation to try to find his place to play, which is a credit to him because he's trying to live out a dream. So I'm starting to like loosen up to the transfer thing again. I wish it was kind of more old school where you got to know the kids. They grew up like you got to know them year after year. But that's everybody's looking for that shot. So I can't discredit them.
Well, it almost makes it more difficult for the coach, I think, because do you not even go out and try to recruit a 4-year guy?
Yeah.
Even like smaller schools that probably still happens just as much. You just don't see it as often, but it'd be hard to spend all your time recruiting some kid to come to your school and then after 1 year he just dips out and then like that it is what it is and it's like a restart. Or do you try to just like hit the transfer portal early and try to just snag a bunch of the guys off the transfer portal?
Yeah. I think it comes down to like these conversations that they're probably having with maybe the kid they recruited, and then here, hey, we're bringing in this guy. There goes competition again. So it like almost like opens up the door to more transfers because we're saying, hey, yeah, I got this 3-year kid that I've worked with, but then we have this 5-star possibility over here. Let's see who's going to win that battle. And that if that transfer wins it, then that kid he worked with for 3 years is now going to transfer out and try to find another place. So it's going to
Yeah.
be a revolving door, but I think that's just what it is right now, especially with all these kids want that opportunity to make it to the next level.
Or you make them sign a contract.
Yeah. Which if they're getting paid, maybe that's what it's going to come down to.
Yeah, like 2-year deals or something just to
Yeah.
keep them around a little bit longer.
But it's like the whole thing that's getting lost in this is that they're student athletes. So like
Yeah.
the fact that you're transferring from a school to a school, you're really probably only going to class, you know, until football's over, and then you're already on to your next school, which you're probably not starting until maybe summer classes. So like how, the little bit of classes here and then a little bit here, I mean, you're really not getting what probably is a quality education by doing this either.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think it depends. I think it all depends on the kid. I mean, do you see that the LSU player Van Leith,
Yeah,
the
from
point guard? Like
basketball.
she just got her, I think just got her master's or graduated maybe in what 3 years.
Okay.
Now I know that's different from a football and basketball, maybe men's route, but I think some of these kids are probably taking the opportunity, you know, even in this extra. Now this is the last year, the 5th year per se, but some of those kids are going out, they're starting a master, so they're getting an extra year of education. So I do think again, I'm sure some are taking advantage of the situation the best they can, but
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't want to put everybody under the same category.
yeah, I mean, ultimately, again, more than one thing can be true at once, right? These kids should be probably able to do what's best for them. That's true. But also it takes away from the, the quality of the game, the passion that fans have for the game as well. I mean, that's also true. So, but hey, we talked about crazy finish to the Florida State game, last second field goal. Georgia Tech beats them. Speaking of crazy finishes, how about that Little League World Series finish? Championship,
Yeah.
World Championship game. Um, Florida versus Taiwan. Holy cats. Trent, what do you think of that?
The first like 6 innings were pretty boring. But then they went into extras and that was That was pretty awesome. And Florida was 0-8 all time in championship games
Oh
in the
wow.
Little League World Series. So they finally broke that losing streak. They've been there a ton, but
Yeah.
it's good for them. It's hard to see some of those kids after the loss, just
Oh, I
because
know. It's
the
heart-wrenching.
Chinese whatever Taipei kid was just devastated. But
Oh,
happy for Florida. It's a cool thing, and they should just be proud to be there and
yeah.
play. Obviously, you want to win, but it's again, you're 12 years old, so it's
Yeah, right. And that's the thing too, is like obviously you feel bad for that second baseman who for some reason went to cover second base instead of first base on that. Not sure why.
yeah,
And you're like, wow, he's 12 years old, he's a little leaguer, they make mistakes, which is true. But these are not your typical little league baseball teams, and these are not your typical 12-year-olds. I mean,
yeah,
they don't make those kind of mistakes. And oh, just to make that mistake at that point of the game on that um level. Oh,
yeah,
felt bad for that poor kid.
for sure. Yeah, you feel for them.
Now, so extra innings, they start with a guy on second base. Is that start away right away in extra innings, or is it a rule that just comes into place in the eighth inning, or did they do it in the seventh inning as well?
Oh, I think they did it in the seventh.
Okay.
I believe they did it in the seventh. It's kind of like the MLB,
Yeah.
that same type of rule,
Yeah. So,
which is good. It picks up the pace, like it
oh,
gives you a chance right away, so they don't need to play. Well, Little League, they'll run out of pitchers.
true.
Like MLB, at least you'll get some guys that can sling it for a while, but some of those little leaguers get you 30, 40 pitches, and then
Yeah.
that's about it. So I think it picks up the pace a little bit, gives you more opportunity to score, and it's a good way to do it.
Well, Big Mo, not to put you on the spot here, but let's put on your coaching whistle. Let's grab you a whiteboard. Let's put you in the locker room. You probably maybe not in that intense of a crazy situation, but you've been on the wrong side of some heart-wrenching losses. Um, what do you say to your guys after that kind of loss?
Oh man, jeez, jeez.
Probably, maybe I should have
Truthfully,
prepped you. Maybe I should have
truth,
prepped you for this one.
no, I think in all honesty, I think one is going to depend on the age of the kids. I don't think you're not going to say anything probably to any age kid that's going to make them feel better.
Yeah,
So I think you leave it short, simple. I mean, in that situation, both teams are really winners in the sense that you got to this game.
yeah,
Obviously, they didn't turn out in our favor. Keep your head held high. Be proud of your efforts.
yeah,
Be proud
Keep
of the
working.
season you had. Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
So I don't think anything you say is really gonna affect them. I think the idea should be probably keep it short,
yeah.
and then let's still get. We're gonna see each other after this, and we're gonna celebrate whatever the season accomplishments actually were. So
Right.
everyone's gonna take it a little probably that type of loss a little stronger, but I think it's better to give them some time to process it before making it like too long and
Yeah.
drawn out. Like, hey, like because you're not going to fix anything at that moment.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, let's move on. Hey, Indiana Fever. Trent, I know you watched the game last night because you and I were texting. Big Mo, you actually had to work last night, one of your side hustles. Did you?
But I watched I taped delayed and watched the game when I got home.
Did you really?
Did not fall asleep. Oh yeah,
Wow.
avoided your guys' text. Didn't even look at them.
Yeah, I thought
Had a
about
couple.
that. I probably yeah, that's right. That was in the group text. I probably should have said, Trent, let's pull this to the side because
Yeah.
Mo's working. My bad.
Yeah.
We were just talking about Caitlin Clark complaining all the time.
Yeah.
You know what? I saw that text and I didn't think it was that bad.
Well,
Oh,
here's the thing. I have no problem with
oh,
or anybody, you know, complaining about calls or talking to referees, but it's about how you go about it. And I think she kind of sometimes goes about it a little bit in an immature way, kind of like LeBron, like, oh, God.
yeah, it's that move. It's the
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, oh my
One's
God.
one's a rookie learning the ways. The
Oh,
other's
she did.
the other's a
Oh,
20-year veteran.
Yeah.
So
oh.
I'm going to leave it at that.
And then too, when she went down with the injury, all I could think was LeBron too. Like went down, it wasn't that big of a deal, but looked like she was on her deathbed.
Yeah,
Hey,
then she
I'm
was
going to give,
back in 2 minutes.
yeah. I'll give her credit though, because in the press conference, I don't know if you saw it, she kind of said something about how, oh man, she looked pretty soft in that moment.
Oh, okay. That's
So
cool.
she took a crack at herself, which
Nice.
That's fair.
which the GOAT LeBron would never do.
No. Like when he got poked in the eye and he was like, oh, I saw 3 rims. So I just shot at the middle one. It's like, dude, what?
Liar.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. But yeah, so Fever win again. They're 3-1 since the break. Caitlin Clark has had another really good game. I mean, it's up and down with her, but she's averaging 23.5 points per game, 8.5 assists per game, and 5.6 rebounds per game in these first 4 games since coming back. Big Mo, you talked about her maybe being MVP of the second half. I mean,
Yeah.
those numbers definitely are kind of on par with what you were maybe predicting.
Yeah, I think she's got to cut down the turnovers. Last night she only had 2. She needs to be like an 8 to like a 2.5 to 3-to-1 probably assist to turnover ratio, because she does have the ball a ton, and she controls the tempo of the Fever for the most part. No, I don't. Again, if they keep winning,
Yeah.
and she just kind of keeps this pace, she's going to be right in the mix, I think, at the end.
Yeah. No,
I agree.
I agree. I don't think they will give it to her, but just because.
But it'll give us something to talk about.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, but again, it's like I said on the Monday Morning Live show, you throw out the stats, and if you just use the eye test and you watch all these players play and you watch these games just based on the eye test, throw away the stats. I mean, she is clearly, I mean, I think you could argue the best player in the league. I was a little bit more conservative with that on the Monday Morning Live show, and I said kind of the 3 that I've seen that are probably the best: Asia Wilson, Brianna Stewart, and Napisa Collier, in my opinion. But Caitlin Clark is like right there, I think. And
yeah, if anything, she's missing the defensive aspect, in the sense that they find ways to pick on her a little bit defensively.
Yeah.
And that might be but again, then she does some things like with the defensive rebound, and she usually is in the right spot.
Right.
She usually makes it. She's pretty physical at times, and I think she gets away with a little bit of that, being Caitlin Clark. But yeah, I think she's definitely. You name those 3. Those 3 are really good players.
Yeah.
So if you can put her in the top 5 to top 6, I think that's respectable.
Yeah. And you mentioned too defense. Obviously, the knock on her, even at Iowa, was not a great defender. Early on in the season, definitely wasn't a great defender. But I do think she's getting a little bit better. But maybe she's just taking it a little bit more seriously and putting a little bit more effort into that end of the floor.
I think she's definitely gotten better. I just think there are times where in the college level, like those 4 players around her were like trying defensively to cover her up.
Yeah.
And sometimes I watch and now she's playing with 5 other really good players, kind of. And like sometimes she kind of gets this look on like someone else should cover that rotation up when it's her rotation.
Okay.
She kind of is like, oh, someone else should cover that rotation out, but really it's her rotation. And I'm like, geez.
Yeah.
So to me, that's what I see. I don't know.
Sure. And you mentioned the assist to turnover ratio. One thing is obviously, as you mentioned, the pace that they play at, and the amount of time that the ball is in her hands. Just naturally, she's going to have a few more turnovers, probably just because of the style and the amount of time she has the ball, and kind of too the way she plays. Like, she takes some risks, and a lot of times those risks pay off. And so, but sometimes they don't. And as long as the reward is, the risk reward factor is in favor of more of the reward, she probably can continue to play that way a little bit. But, the other thing is some of those turnovers aren't her fault. And then the other thing is her assists should be higher too. I mean, last night she missed out on 3, at least that I can think of, 3 easy assists because her teammate blew a simple, easy layup too.
Yeah, the amount of missed layups in the first half was the offensive rebound one by the shooter. I forgot what her. Oh my goodness, there's no one there.
Yeah.
Oh, just put it in.
So her assist to turnover ratio could be even better with a couple less turnovers that aren't her fault and a couple more assists that she clearly should have. But definitely though, yeah, I mean, always, I think if she knocks down even just one less turnover. I mean, she's leading the league in turnovers. I think she's at what is she at? Like
it's almost 6,
probably
5.5, I think.
6,
yeah, that's not very good.
No.
If like again, I said if she can get it, into that under 3 range and then still have 7 to 9 assists,
yeah,
I think that would be comfortable as a coach.
Yeah. Sure. And then they got a huge game coming up here tomorrow, against the Connecticut Sun, which they are 0-3 against the Sun. The Sun have the second best record in the league as of the time of us recording this. I think they're only a half a game ahead of the third place team in the league, but really, really good team. Again, the Fever are 0-3 against them. They were competitive against them one time. They only lost by 4. But, again, if they're going to kind of give us some hopes for making a run in the playoffs, they're going to need to, again, at least be very competitive tomorrow night with the Connecticut Sun.
Yeah, they need to shoot the 3 really well to be super competitive against the top teams, I think. Because if what's it, Mitchell? I thought she threw up a ton of bad shots last night, and Caitlin was kind of deferring. I think they need to make a lot of threes, and that just boosts momentum and confidence for them. So I think they need to make a lot of threes to be super successful, especially in the playoffs. When they get to the playoffs, they got to be over 38% clip probably from 3 to have a chance.
Yeah, and Kelsey Mitchell, I mean, her shot selection last night in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, she did have the one when there was only 5 seconds left on the shot clock. But my goodness, under 2 minutes, you got a 5-7 point lead, and she's
2 missed threes.
Jacking up these threes that aren't even really that open with like 20 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah. And the one she missed, got a rebound, kicked it out, and then got it back, shot fake, one dribble, another 3. I was like, what is going on? Like, get to the basket or give it to Caitlin.
All right. Well, hey guys, anything else? Anything we missed?
I don't think so.
We got Connor Stallions on Netflix now, live, and you can go on there right now and watch it.
I'm surprised I haven't seen anything really posted about that yet, quite on social media.
I've been staying off Twitter because I don't want to see anything.
And I have really not opened up anything, but
What do you think?
Like even ESPN, there's nothing even on ESPN yet. Of like, hey,
no.
Do you think Michigan fans are gonna tweet about it?
There's probably nothing to tweet about. So
yeah, it sounds like he just adamantly denying it. So
yeah, well, he said that he wasn't on the sideline for Central Michigan State, and then there's a picture of him on the sideline.
We can't verify if that's him for sure.
Yeah, how do we know that's him?
Just Face ID it. His phone will open.
It was probably AI.
Not a chance. He wasn't there.
Yeah, never did anything.
And then the other thing we got tonight, we got Hard Knocks, episode 4. So we'll definitely talk about that on tomorrow's show. We had enough to talk about today where we didn't even do an NFL division preview, but we can certainly we got 3 more divisions to do in the AFC yet. So Maybe
When do they start?
NFL?
Yeah.
A week from Thursday.
How about that?
Yeah.
September 5th.
Yeah. So
Oh, that's a good game. Chiefs Ravens.
Yeah. So we've got 5 episodes of the daily lineup show until then to get in our 3 more the last 3 divisions in the AFC to give our predictions. So we got time, fellas. We got time.
Sweet.
We're running out of time, but did you see this news that just came out about the Kelsey brothers?
No, what?
$100 million for their podcast.
With who?
What
do you mean?
Over 3 years.
That's how much they've made?
They're signing a deal with Amazon's Wondery that is reportedly worth more than 100 million over 3 years.
I've never heard of that one. Is that I mean, it's a new platform, or has it been out for a while? It obviously competes with Spotify and
it must be. I don't know either.
Wow.
Travis Kelce is a sellout.
Anything for a buck.
I'd take 100 million. That's true. I'd sell out.
I'll take 1 million. I'll take 1 million. Come on now.
Anything for a buck. I think that's the definition of a sellout.
I'd take 100 million.
Call me a sellout.
Yeah. I wouldn't have a problem with it. Tell me where to sign.
I'll promote whatever.
Oh. I have to read more about it. It just popped up on my screen. So
all right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow.
Later.